So, JPMorgan, the same bank that once bashed Bitcoin, just partnered with Coinbase to let you buy cryptocurrencies using a credit card. This isn't just a payment tweak, it's a massive shift that could redefine how we spend, save, and invest. And this is one of those banks that when they do something, everyone listens to it. We're going to be going over the ramification this has for debt. Why is it a good thing? Why is it a bad thing? How you can make money off of it? Should you buy crypto with a credit card? Knowing the spending habits that a lot of people have, along with more fruitful ways to take advantage of this particular development. So without further ado, let's dive in. So first of all, JP Morgan enables crypto card purchases on Coinbase. As a partnership between the two. It's a little unique. Institutional banking and consumer on-ramp kind of mangled together. The irony is JP Morgan basically called crypto a scam, and now it's building the rails. So again, very, very, very funny right there. Now, again, JP Morgan had earnings last quarter. It was absolutely amazing. Their stock went up. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of nuance about why I think this is absolutely an atrocious idea for consumers. And then we'll get into how this actually makes sense for investors, right? So we're going to split the two into two parts. So part one, why I think this is an absolute tragedy is because of household debt. Household debt has been going up steadily for quite a long period of time. As we can see here, that household debt is nearing the $20 trillion mark. And then non-housing debt is increasing at a massive rate. So we can see non-housing debt is $5 trillion. What does that mean? Well, now housing debt is everything but the housing. So your car payment, your credit card payment, personal loans, student loan debt, it's all piled into there, and it has been increasing absolutely crazy. So consumers already struggle to pay off their debts as they go. Now, why would someone actually partake in buying cryptocurrency with credit card with debt, right? Knowing they're in this financial situation. Well, we can reflect that most Americans are absolutely horrible at managing their spending. Most people don't know what's in their bank account. And simply put it, they just don't really care what their financials are, because if they did, they would pay more attention to it. Not trying to be mean when I say that, but it's just the cold hard truth. Now, one of the reasons that was cited in Algebra of Wealth is a fantastic book. I highly recommend you guys watch it or read it. Again, Audible. Awesome program for it as well. Basically cited why people buy lottery tickets, right? This is very similar mentality of it. It's because in that moment, they actually felt like they had something, right? Their lives are pretty miserable. The miserable index is pretty darn high when it comes to not standard of living, but necessarily the happiness of everyone, right? As stocks go up, people can't afford them. We saw Meta with its 12% rise, absolutely insane. We dropped a video on that, so make sure you guys wait to the end of the video for that. And if you guys want more videos like that, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Throw a like down below, please, and thank you. You guys are all awesome. But going back to household debt, that is what really is driving it, is the momentary relief, right? That someone actually holds something. And also with crypto being one of those like big assets. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. A lot of people are going to buy like crap coins or shit coins that I call them. And Coinbase is going to profit from this extensively. Their stock from July to August has gone up a whopping crazy 65%, right? As the market rebounded. And they're also coming back to their previous all-time high rotation right around here. So again, they rotated around there already, kind of forming new highs as we're going up. So coin, from an investment standpoint, is going to be a very, very fruitful for those, because it's going to be another source of revenue, right? The Coinbase doesn't care if it's credit card debt. JP Morgan doesn't care, because they're going to make interest off of it. So they're just looking at lining their pockets. The consumer at the end of the day is going to be the one to suffer, because no one's actually going to put it into Bitcoin, right? No one's going to go into Bitcoin and put it in at 110,000, right? They're not going to buy like a fraction of a Bitcoin. Again, for all those that don't know, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy basically like the 16th decimal place of a Bitcoin, nearly for $1, right? So you can, depending on the transactional currency you use. And also with the big beautiful bill, you're allowed to trade these in 401ks and retirement accounts. So again, I don't recommend crypto as a whole, but Bitcoin would be an interesting investment. Again, it's a store of wealth, not necessarily investment, but it is returning significant returns. So there is an argument that could be made. But furthermore, with Bitcoin, everyone's going to be doing the shitcoin. They're going to be doing the Shiba Inu. They're going to be doing all of these little coins that everyone just kind of hypes up, and it's just going to turn into this big Ponzi scheme. But the problem is you're going to be on the hook. The national debt, right, that houses hold is going to go through the damn roof. And it's not getting better that the Federal Reserve is not holding rates lower. They're actually just, and we had the Federal Reserve meeting yesterday where everyone basically said, yeah, no rate cuts for you because we're political hacks. And again, if you guys want to see that, make sure you are subscribed to the channel so you know when those live streams come out. We live stream that whole debacle along with Meta and Microsoft earnings. Again, if you missed that, Microsoft did an absolute like bonkers day yesterday, gave up a good chunk of the gains through the day. Meta actually closed higher than it opened or slightly below where it opened actually, forming a gap. Now the question is this gap going to fill or is it going to result in more buying opportunities out there? Throw in the comment section below what you all think. Personally, I'm thinking that it's going to result in a buying opportunity, especially seeing Amazon post market on their earnings, missed and came down to the 50-day moving average. So that's definitely going to be a buying opportunity. Whereas Apple actually had a little bit of a recovery coming back to where it was previously prior to the sell-off. So a little bit of bid manipulation going on around there. Now, if you're looking for some other stocks to actually invest in, we can talk about Visa and MasterCard, right? So Visa had earnings recently, fell as a main payment processor. It is definitely going to be one to pick up, or maybe around that 340 price point. Again, MasterCard, another one that's going to benefit from this, right? Because as more people transact crypto or buy crypto with their credit cards, these companies are usually ones that issue these credit cards, and thus are the ones that are going to be doing the transactions. JPMorgan is absolutely going to make a killing on this as well. So as we see here, the stock is nearly at all-time highs, having a little bit of momentum loss around here, but still holding very strong above the 50-day moving average and 200-day moving average. For all those that don't know what that is, it's basically the long-term estimated price, and we use them as kind of guides to know whether it's bullish or bearish. As we saw, we had the rotation around the 279 number, and now we're just kind of sitting at this 300 psychological number. Could be looking at a pullback to the 50-day moving average on JPMorgan, so that would be an awesome buy out there. And you also have companies like, let's say, SQ, PayPal, Riot, MSTR, that all are interesting ones to pick up. And you also have USDC and Ethereum as stablecoins and payment tokens, that this could be a very interesting adaptation, right? Because those are going to, a lot of money is going to be driven into those that are the common ones that are heard. But then again, layering on the speculation, Bitcoin is probably going to be the one that I would say, if you're going to put any money, and I do not recommend that in any way, shape, or form, again, not financial advice, Bitcoin would probably be the stable just due to the happening and how big it is. Regulation is essentially going to be a non-starter issue with this and resulting in essentially a very store of value, but also that would mean that whatever you bought with that interest, right, it has to make more money than that particular asset. Bitcoin kind of capable of it, but seeing how Bitcoin is becoming more institutionalized, you don't see those crazy runs, right? We saw this with NVIDIA. Even though NVIDIA had an absolute insane run from $85 to $177, we're seeing a calm, cool, collected downwards once it kind of kicks in, right? Microsoft had the same run, kind of popped on earnings. Is it going to continue? We have to look and see how these things all play out. So again, a word of caution is that Bitcoin could definitely be something to look at buying into, not necessarily with the credit card debt and not necessarily fueling this insane amount of debt higher. Again, as costs go up with the latest PCE inflation numbers that came out yesterday, we saw PCE ticking up to 2.6 from 2.4, previously revised up from 2.3. That was the year over year index. And core, right, 2.8 flat on the month. This is where the numbers really, again, prices are higher. They're staying higher for longer. Jerome Powell is holding rates. We saw the Federal Reserve not want to cut rates at all, really, with the December expectations is still to only have between 1 to 2 rate cuts. And right now it's setting up to be more like a one rate cut, to my personal opinion right now, zero based on the latest speech that we got. Again, if you guys want more content like this, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, because we come out with amazing videos like this. We do live streams, we do live analysis for everything. So again, JPMorgan just teamed up with Coinbase to allow credit card purchases, which was an insane move that no one saw coming. Thank you for the person that sent me that link to this, and enjoy the content, guys. Again, thank you all so much. And like any revolution, fortunes will be made and lost. Make sure you're on the right side of it. Make sure you guys check out the Discord on the top left and the latest two videos over here that I promised you at the end. And have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I'll see you in the next one.